Dallisa here. I am the CEO of Spirit and Spark, 5th generation psychic medium, and we're back again!
Hey everybody!
Yeah, this is Virginia and Joseph, so go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Virginia, the astrologer at Spirit and Spark, and I'm happy to be here today to talk about July's forecast.
Astrology. Joseph,
right.
you're back again.
That's right.
You came back. We didn't scare you off.
That's right. I'm back again here to talk about July. We had last month, June. It was an amazing month. A lot about inner voice, how we treated ourselves. I'm excited to talk about July.
July, I've heard has some
Power. That's the word I would
July
use.
has some stuff.
Some
So,
power.
yeah, exciting times ahead.
It
so,
is.
I want to quickly mention, if wherever you're watching this, you might be watching this on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or in our email newsletter, wherever you're watching this, just make sure you like us, subscribe to us. We really appreciate it. We know you love our astrology videos, and so by following us, you'll get those updates as soon as these videos are available. And because it was so popular for June, Virginia's offered to do another awesome offer. So how it's going to work is you purchase your natal chart with Virginia, and she's going to give you a free Chiron asteroid report, and it's going to help you about identifying wounds and where your greatest healing opportunities are in this lifetime. So that is a free gift for you. It's a $75 value when you buy the natal chart with Virginia. So I wanted to throw that out there. There are 10 spots. So if you're interested, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're watching this from, send us a private message or an email, and we'll get you linked up with Virginia so you can take advantage of that offer. Why not?
Yeah.
I know.
Chiron's important, and everyone has it in their chart somewhere. We're all born with some sort of wound. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. It was discovered in 1977. So anyone who's turning around 49, 50, 51 would be having what's called a Chiron return, because it takes 50 years to go around your chart. So that's really impactful for a lot of people. So if you're in that age group, you would definitely want to check on your Chiron report.
Yeah. I think it's also helpful with Chiron, just even like to look at it within my own chart, even though I don't necessarily fit into that age bracket.
Absolutely.
Because it gives insight as to where that wounded healer is in my chart, so I can have better insight of what I can work on. I think we're all born to grow and to evolve and to love and to learn. And so when you know where that sticky point is in your chart, perhaps, it'll just help you to kind of maybe anticipate it a little bit or
Well, it
heal
actually
it.
turns into your gift. So your wound or your inner wound actually turns in the gift you bring out to the world. So the quicker you can start working on that, the faster you can receive the gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's Chiron's that astrological symbol that just brings me to the idea of taking your biggest weakness and making it your strength.
Okay.
And that's what Chiron is. It's that point in our lives where it's just like we feel like we can't get it right. We keep stumbling, but we keep falling into this pattern, and we can't figure out why we can't get out of it. That's Chiron. That's Chiron saying, hey, this is you. This is where you are wounded. This is where you need healing. You need to pursue this. So having a Chiron report is really important, especially if you're around that age to have that return.
Yeah.
So.
Virginia does astrology and life coaching. So she looks at your astrology chart and it helps her to also coach you through life and decisions that you're making. And Joseph does astrology and runes, and he'll cast runes. It's got all these symbols on it, and he's interpreting it with your chart. So they both do very interesting takes and unique sessions with astrology. So Virginia is available now. Joseph is going through licensing still, so we are working on that with him. But yeah, we're excited to bring you July's forecast and the eclipse energy and all of that really fun stuff. So comment on the video. Let us know what sign you are, your sun sign. And that is about a 1/12 of what your chart is comprised of. So, but the sun sign will help us know like what sign is watching us more than other signs. So just comment and let us know. Fire, earth, water,
Air.
I'm like, which one am I missing? I'm not the astrologer on the team, clearly. Okay, let's get started. So you want to talk about the eclipse first?
Absolutely. So July 2nd, it's right around the corner. The eclipse will be in Cancer. This eclipse will be a catalyst for what you need to unload or things that are no longer useful to you. And it also will bring some unexpected soul-stimulating surprises.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Because you're meant to. No, I mean,
oh my God, everyone's gonna stop watching right now.
You know what,
I'm
though?
just kidding.
I have so many conversations over the last few weeks with people that feel stuck. So
Okay.
if you're one of those people who feels stuck, this is your time to get unstuck.
Okay.
Because it is your belief systems that are sticking you to where you are.
Okay.
So this is actually going to bring up the idea of what is safety for me? How do I view safety? What makes me feel safe? And am I willing to take a risk in getting out of my comfort zone? So although it sounds a little scary and unfamiliar, the alternative is stay doing exactly what you've been doing.
Oh, okay. I like how you spin that. The positive. What do you make of this eclipse?
Well, it's, we're coming to that point where July was about that, how we're treating ourselves, how are we talking. June. Sorry.
Yeah.
June was about that, and it's that this eclipse, this new moon that's coming up, it's about that lesson. Where are we at now, and have you been kind to yourself? Have you been treating yourself well? And if you have, then those things can advance and evolve. But if you haven't, then you're going to have to repeat that lesson. You're going to have to go back in there and figure out how do I need to treat myself so I can be happy. And that this solar eclipse is huge with that ego and emotion coming together and saying, this is who we want to be, this is who we're going to be, and moving forward. And not getting trapped in that old voice where it's just like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, oh, I made that mistake in the past, I did that. You got to move forward. Keep moving forward, and that's what this eclipse is about, is bringing your ego and emotions together and moving forward through that.
Do you feel like June could have been a time for people to just take notice and inventory, maybe some stillness?
Yep.
And then July sounds like it's going to be, you had your stillness, now what are you going to do with it?
Like,
Okay.
Like Virginia said, it's that a lot of people have been saying they feel stuck, and it's that stillness that you were talking about in that June, where it's just like we've kind of been sitting and kind of observing and feeling, and that now that we're in Cancer, that's what we're doing. We're all feeling, and the sun's going to move into Leo in July, and that's that step forward where you stop feeling and you start doing.
Okay.
What makes this unique as well is that there are 5 planets in retrograde, and there are 2 asteroids that are going into retrograde by the end of the month. And so retrograde really is about taking that inventory, like you just said, and making corrections. So it's extra powerful this month because of that, because this is not ordinary eclipse to have 5 planets in retrograde.
Yeah,
Lots of energy.
Yeah.
definitely.
Come see us at Spirit and Spark.
Yes.
All right, so Venus enters Cancer July 3rd.
That's right. And so now we're moving into the planet of love, which is Venus, moving into the sign that's about home, safety, security, what feels nurturing to you. So you'll have that sense about you with Venus moving into Cancer on the 3rd.
Okay, perfect. July 7th, Mercury retrograde. We all love Mercury retrograde. Everyone loves Mercury
That's
going
right,
retrograde.
that's right.
Ha no. Okay, so what do you make of that?
Well, it's Mercury going retrograde at this point is we're going to go through that inner voice and rethink, okay, I like this. I like this new me. I like this way that I've been talking to myself. I like this stillness within myself. I like that, or I don't like it. And then if you don't like it, that's where you need to go in and make some fine tuning, adjust yourself. And that's what the retrograde's all about. Stepping back into yourself, taking a look at your ideas and seeing what works for you and moving forward. And it being in Leo and then moving back to Cancer is going from that, this is who I am, to, oh wait, I gotta feel again. And then it's okay, so we figured out like this is the new me, this is who I'm gonna be. And now that retrograde is gonna step back and be like, do I like this new me? Is this really who I wanna be? Did I get it right, or do I need to go over some stuff again?
Well, and this retrograde is also conjunct Mars, which is the warrior planet, the action planet, so be careful not to be too impulsive or too rash.
Okay.
It is also squaring Uranus, which is a 90-degree angle, which is a little bit of a harsh angle. So with it being a retrograde, conjunct Mars, and square Uranus, it's don't do anything impulsive. Be careful what you say, don't let it just shoot out in your mouth, because that could be problematic in the future.
Great.
Yeah.
That Sagittarius no filter of mine
Yeah.
is going to really have to watch it in July.
Well, and pick your battles. Not everything
Yeah.
is worth fighting over, so maybe you just hush.
Yeah, and I think that with the Mercury and Mars conjunction there, that's exactly right. It's just think before you speak, think before you act. All of your actions now need to be thought over twice, you know, that measure twice, cut once. This is what that Mercury and Mars conjunction is all about. With Mercury going in retrograde, with that Mars action right there, just rethink. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in such a hurry that, I've been still, I've been doing this, and I'm ready to go. I feel stuck. Don't rush into your next step. Take your time and know that next step is going to be sturdy and secure for you.
Okay.
Keep the RE in the retrograde in mind, reviewing, rethinking, reinventing. So that way, you know, to keep it simple for people, it's just what do we want to rethink?
Yeah.
And technology goes typically like really haywire during Mercury retrograde.
It can, yes. There can be some of those.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it definitely can be that time where they say don't sign contracts, your computer could mess up, but also life doesn't stand still at this time. You still have to go through some things. So just rethink it if you have to sign a contract.
And it's, with the technology going haywire, all that stuff is it's just testing your emotional stability. Are you going to lose your cool because your computer isn't logging in right today?
Correct.
Or are you going to stay calm and know that, well, it's just the way things are. I'm not supposed to be in a hurry today. I'm supposed to slow down. Whatever it is, whatever that thing, that haywireness is that's the sign.
It's more about patience, less about your computer going haywire.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay. July 8th, Venus sextile Uranus.
Sweet, now we have something fun to talk about.
Oh, good.
You will want or need to have a little more fun and excitement. July 8th would be a great time to go to a party, do something social, go out and meet new people. With Venus sextile Uranus, an unexpected meeting could happen. An unexpected love meeting could happen. You could be walking into Starbucks and you bump into somebody. That's how Uranus works. So it's connecting with Venus in a very nice conversation. So on the 8th, think about doing something fun.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's, that the Venus and Uranus, and then it being in Cancer and Taurus, is that really what in the material world makes you feel good. And it being that Uranus it could kind of put into a chaotic spin where maybe it's something that you didn't think before would be something that you would enjoy, but now you do. Where before you were a little hesitant to take that step into the unknown, where this Venus and Uranus, they're coming together in a positive way to help you figure out what is it in the material world that makes you feel good. Cancer, Venus.
Gosh, a lot of introspection this summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but that's all the retrograde planets, right? So
Yeah.
Also on the 8th, you have the Sun in a conversation with Jupiter, which could stimulate restlessness. So you may find yourself a little bit more anxious than normal on that day as well. So
Okay.
find an outlet for that.
And July 8th also has the Mercury conjunct Mars, right?
Exactly.
So what's that about?
So, that will bring matters of the heart to the forefront and stimulating love matters, because you've got now Venus in there, you've got Sun, Jupiter, all those planets are kind of communicating with each other. So you'll be thinking about what you love, who you love, and do you still love them?
Oh.
Yeah.
Retro.
Well, you're going to want to push past your limits. And so if you're finding something limiting for you, it, once again, with the RE, is rethinking what you're doing, and is it causing me a limitation?
Okay, so yeah, I foresee people coming in talking about their breakups or potential breakups.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before. How do you get unstuck? Well, you have to get rid of something in order to get unstuck. And yes, it's uncomfortable. People are going to be mad at you? Possibly. But if you don't do it, then you're not living your own true purpose.
Yeah.
That's right. And for me, what I got on July 8th is that's the start of this big transformation that we will all experience with that Venus, Uranus, Cancer, Taurus thing going on right there. That's kind of the starting gate, because the next move we get into those Cancer, Capricorn oppositions, which we'll get into later. But it's July 8th is kind of that day.
Yeah.
That starting day of the month where it's just like, all right, are you ready to become the new you? Or are you going to stay stuck in your old ways? Like Virginia said, are you ready to drop that old baggage and evolve into this better person that you know you are? Or are you going to hang on to that old stuff? and try to bring it in with you. And we all know that that doesn't work, and you'll just repeat a whole nother year of the same karmic lessons. But now July 8th is that beginning point of, let's move forward, let's become this new us, let's have that compassion for ourselves, let's do this. Let's not carry the baggage and try to go into it. It's not going to work. July 8th that's a big day leading into the rest of the month.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
And then our friend Chiron,
yes.
he's going retrograde.
On the 8th, and
yeah.
so that's one out of the 2 asteroids that go retrograde with the 5 planets. So that happens on the 8th as well.
So what do you make of that, since Chiron is the wounded healer and going retrograde? Like, what do you think that's going to bring up for people?
If you have stuff that's hidden and it's down deep, this retrograde time is when it's going to surface, because we can't heal things that we're not aware of. And so it could be childhood wounds, because we're in Cancer season, a Cancer eclipse. It's like you thought you've done hours of therapy and you were over something. Well, whatever residue is deep down in there, Chiron retrograde is going to bring it up so we can finally get rid of all of it.
Oh, fun times.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kind of the, it's the stuff that we thought we healed ourselves for, but really we just suppressed it. This Chiron retrograde is going to bring it to the surface. And that's that July, that time period where it's just like, this is the new you. Are you going to be that new you?
Okay.
To give you an example of that, like my parents weren't into astrology or spirituality or tarot cards, and here I am having to face the idea of, what are my parents going to think that my new job is that I'm an astrologer? And so that's a Chiron wound. Like when I was growing up, it's like you were told to get a job, work 30 years. This is your life projection. And now I'm like, well, guess what? I'm not subscribing to that any longer. I'm now going to be an astrologer on Facebook in front of the whole world. So that's kind of an example of what this retrograde could mean for you.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so fasten your seatbelts, folks. July 9th. We got some Sun and Saturn and stuff going on.
Yeah. So your North Node is your life purpose. It's the direction your soul wants to go. It is right next to the Sun and opposite Saturn. That is a mouthful. That's all about your need or your odds with, I want to be in a relationship, but they want distance. And I'm supposed to be on this life path, but they need this from me. So it's kind of taking a look at where you're going and what's holding you back.
Yeah, it's the Saturn's your karma, and the Sun is your ego, and your core, it's who you are. And being opposite Saturn, that's a big karmic lesson that the whole world's going through, not just individuals, but also individuals. So it's societal and down to an individual that we all will experience this karmic shift of, are we going to allow those old karmic chains that weigh us down? Are these people going to be upset with me? Are they going to be mad at me? Are we allowing these other people to have impact on our story? Or are we going to live our true story? And that's what that opposition is all about, is, are you living your best potential, or are you allowing your old karma to bring you down? You need to rise above it and learn from your karma and grow. And that's that Saturn opposition on July 9th. That's like I said, July 8th leads into this big transformation, and that's one of the big ones.
And on a mundane level, you might find yourself like the normal life demands are a little more draining for you than normal. Like you may feel a little bit weighed down. Even if you're not a Cancer, but you know, everyone has Cancer somewhere in their sign. So this is a need for roots and establishing foundation. So that's all kind of goes together on that day.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want to look at your chart, find where you have Cancer and Capricorn, see where that opposition is happening, which house is it happening in, and there you will know what it is that you need to do and pursue. Because this is a big opposition. This is a life-changing opportunity for each individual to go through. And knowing your house, knowing your placement will help you get through that.
No, and it's perfect because since we do astrology charts here, you know, you could find your astrology chart. The tricky part is actually interpreting what's going on.
Exactly.
I mean, I look at charts like, and I'm like, whatever that means. So I asked them a lot of questions, and I think I'm mildly versed in astrology, but I can't read a chart. So why I say that to you is it is invaluable, especially with everything that's going on with these retrogrades and all of the introspection and life changes that are happening right now on the planet and for each of us individually. This is the ideal time to get your astrology chart done. Even if you had it done 6 months ago, I would say because of everything that's coming up, do it again. And with Virginia's offer right now with buying your natal chart, and then you get the Chiron Healer Report for free, which is a $75 value, this is like the best time to do it because you can see where those wounds may be presenting, especially with everything that's going to be coming up in July. So 10 spots, don't forget to message us to get that. So,
and just to clarify, what is a transit? So the natal chart is where the planets were when you were born, but clearly they're still moving around up there in the sky. So what we're talking about today is how they're moving, and every time they move, what conversation are they in with another planet. So it's always good to check in every 6 months because the transits keep on going, and they always affect your natal chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, if you could read your own chart and dig in yourself, that's great. But just like any other thing, we're not all meant to do everything ourselves. We need help. So there are astrologers out there like us, and we can help you find where these things are happening in your life and what you need to do to make your life better. And that's what us as astrologers do. And I was able to do it in my own personal life, and now I want to expand that to other people. And it's astrology. It's the thumbprint in the stars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, awesome. All right.
Sagittarius, you love this moment.
Woohoo! July 10th. Well, July 10th.
July 10th, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Jupiter is governed by Sagittarius. They like that, and it moves direct.
Woohoo!
So we've got one planet getting out of retrograde, moving forward, and it happens to be the planet of optimism, travel, higher learning, luck. So that is going to start moving forward.
Okay.
On the 10th.
July 11th, Sun trine Neptune. What do you make of that?
Oh, well, that's that coming in. That's where this whole shift that we're going through, this specific placement, is about our dreams. What is our new dream now that we are becoming this new person? Because our old dreams, what we wanted in the past, isn't necessarily relevant for who we are today. And that astrological lining is specifically telling us, okay, align your dreams with your ego. Put what you want, your goals, your path, what you want in this life, align it with your ego. And then you will be able to receive whatever it is that you want and how. And you'll know how to receive it by going with this, by having your ego and Neptune, the Sun and Neptune, by having those trine and be together like that. That's aligning your dream with your ego and opening the door for unlimited possibilities.
And manifesting, right? So Jupiter goes direct. Now we have Sun trine Neptune. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of your dreams and your hopes. And now you've got Jupiter behind you to manifest. So what do you want to manifest? Like, that's the time on the 11th. You're going to get some action behind your hopes and dreams.
Yeah, maybe write down a dream list. What are some goals you want to accomplish? What are, what's something you want to have next year that you don't have right now? That would be a good time to write down your goals and your dreams and kind of see, who is this new person? Because you might write down some stuff where last year you would have never thought that you'd want that, but now you've evolved and you've grown. So write down a list of your dreams and what you want to pursue in the rest of the year. And I think by the end of the year, you'll be able to accomplish a lot of it.
Yeah, and remember what we talked about in June, your belief systems, recreating them. So your path to success is all about your self-beliefs. So if your mouth is saying, I believe this can work, but back somewhere in your brain, you're like, well, I really don't know if it can work. That's not in alignment. So your success is directly represented by your belief and your self-belief.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're moving forward with Mars square. Is it Uranus or Uranus?
I say Uranus.
Uranus?
I say Uranus.
Oh, Uranus. All right, whatever.
There you go.
Yep, they're doing something on July 11th.
Well, it's squaring, so that could be a little bit of tension. So that could be an opportunity where you thought you were going on one path and you get rerouted. Because wherever Uranus shows up, there's an unexpected surprise. So it would be the best day to remain adaptable, flexible, and once again, hold your temper a little bit because you've got Mars squaring Uranus.
Or just stay home and hide.
Or, well.
And I think that'll have a lot
That's a
of
possibility.
a lot to do with your Mercury and Mars conjunction that we have earlier in the month.
Correct.
Did you were you impulsive? Did you just do what you were thinking without overthinking it or without thinking over it twice? Sorry. But it's Uranus is coming into that Mars and that action, and this is where you're going to see like the effects of how you handled the conjunction of Mercury and Mars. You'll start to see the chaos. You'll start to see the cause and effect of, okay, what did those decisions, what are the outcomes of them, and you'll start to see that. So if you didn't handle yourself right and you didn't, go within yourself and make sure you're making the right decisions and you were just very impulsive, you might see some chaos in your life kind of start to stir up. But if you keep a level head and you realize and understand the situation that you're in, Uranus will work with you and help you change your life in a better way.
Perfect. All right. Okay. July 14th, Sun opposite Pluto.
Okay, this, anytime you mention Pluto, that's the very intense planet. So there could be some sort of crisis I know, the Sag just wants to have fun. Maybe stay home on the 11th and on the 14th.
Or just like the whole month of July.
Ultimately, let's not blow it up and make it more than
I know, I'm just teasing.
But, Pluto being there could be a crisis to the self-esteem. At some point, you may need to take a look at, is this my fault? Did I cause some of this?
Fun, okay.
So, it is what it is. There could be breakdown, appliances. This is where those things can happen. So let's move forward. It's an intense moment in time. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll pass.
Okay. July 16th, the lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Great. We have another eclipse.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lunar eclipse, different from the solar eclipse, this is more about emotions, intentions, intimate relationships, families, clearly seeing any relationship imbalances or disharmony. If there is an imbalance, it would come up at this time. It's also a time of release. So it doesn't only mean releasing the things that you want to let go of, but it could be releasing hidden talents that are now triggered and are freed up for you to use. So it's definitely something that's amazing news, right? After Pluto. So, and you can then reach the outcome that you're seeking. And it could just be a time where you just unleashed.
Do you feel like this stuff is getting us ready for 2020?
Yes.
Because we've alluded to that in some of the astrology videos that 2020 is going to be like something else.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels like it's getting us prepped and ready.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, it's almost like you're reading a story and you could see the events happening leading up to 2020, and that's why so many amazing astrologers can predict things so accurately, because it's just telling a story. And we had the Sun opposite Pluto, which is transforming us, creating this new us that I was talking about, and then the lunar eclipse comes in with the Sun and Moon opposition with that Cancer Capricorn, and it's the new way of feeling. Now that we're this new person, now that we've transformed and evolved, what's our new way of feeling? What is, the computer's not working, where before I'd get so mad and be like, but now it's just like, the computer's not working, well, I just need to do this or call so-and-so or whatever. You have a better understanding of how to solve the situation. And that's that lunar eclipse. If we're reading the story and following it the way that it's supposed to be told, then we will. That the stars are aligning for us, not against us. And that lunar eclipse is the new way of feeling. It's who we are as our emotions.
Okay.
And do we have that in order, and are we ready to go into 2020? Are we ready for this big shift?
Yes. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've been waiting. This is why I think a lot of us are here.
So the next day, just to be mindful of that, because now I brought up all these emotions. If you want to stay home, the next day would be the day to stay
July
home.
17th.
July 17th.
Because I see some Venus opposite
It's
Saturn.
opposite Saturn. So now we brought up all these emotions. So let's not run out into the world with it.
Stay home.
You could feel some sort of melancholy that day. So I would say it's not a good time to socialize that day. Let's get adjusted to our new feelings before we run out there and socialize with them.
Definitely, because this is, that's going to come in where, the new loves, the new things that we want, the new cares, the, Venus, that energy is going to be there with that opposition, so that transformation will come through, and it's just like, what you know, who do we love now? So relationships, you know, you might not want to engage with your partner that day. You might want to have some distance, maybe have some alone time that day, because that, you know, you might get annoyed with your partner, or some things might happen because this new you's picking out and noticing new things that you didn't notice before. So just take some time, be with yourself, and surround yourself with the things that make you feel comfortable and the things that you love.
And if you're artistic, that would be a moment to use that as a creative time to come up with a new masterpiece, or use your artistic skills, listen to music, paint, draw. That would be a moment that you could take that solitary time for yourself to express yourself creatively.
Well, and it looks like on July 18th with Venus trine Neptune, that feels like that could be a really nice day after the day that you're spending by yourself. So let's talk about Venus trine Neptune. So what do you pick up with that?
That's about fantasy. If you're single, let's say, how about we fantasize or dream up that ideal mate? Until you put that into your attention, you just get what you get. But if you actually take Venus, the love planet, with the planet of spirituality, creativity, you can dream up your dream mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you already are in a relationship, it's a good time to remember all the things that you do love about that person. Find the things that you did fantasize, you know, when you first met them and you were just in awe of that person. Remember those things. Remember why that person makes you feel so good. And that will open the door of, you know, the fantasy you have of that other person. Because we have a tendency when you're partnered with somebody is, you know, you get comfortable. And, you know, you kind of forget about the things that made you fall in love with that person in the first place. And this would be a good time to kind of remember and go back and be like, oh, yeah, they did this for me, they do that for me, and it really makes me feel good. And then it brings back that fantasy in that individual. And it's a good time for that.
Well, and also being in service to others in that moment. When you realize that you rediscovered how you feel about them, you could be in service to them and give back.
Perfect. See somebody in maybe different eyes, with different eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde re-enters Cancer.
So what happens when a planet changes signs? It changes its modus operandi, how it operates. So yes, Mercury's still in retrograde, but now it's changing into the sign of Cancer.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's an invitation to retreat into your shell and look for answers within. Before it was in Leo, and so which is outward. Now mid-month it's going to go into Cancer, and that's the time where you would go in. Whenever it's Cancer, it's like introspection.
Okay. All right, inward. Perfect. July 21st, Venus opposite Pluto.
This could bring a little jealousy. So this could be that time.
I read ahead, and that's why you see my facial expressions. I'm like, oh, God. Okay, jealousy. Got it.
Well, Pluto is about power. How are we expressing our power? So if we're being overtaken by someone in love, or we just get, it also can be the planet of obsessiveness. And so you may find yourself a little bit more obsessive about your mate that day. So just calm your jealousy feelings down, because this too shall pass. But wherever there's Pluto, there's intensity. So
okay.
Intensity and love.
Just again, that, you know, that big transformation of, you know, what is it that we love, and letting it grow and not holding it back, not trying to be controlling and allow those jealousy issues to come in. That's, you know, this is a big month with those oppositions.
Apparently,
For anybody who doesn't know, an opposition is 180 degrees. So if a planet is up here, that means it's directly opposite of the other planet, which then causes a tension. So anytime you have planets that are in tension, that causes movement or stirring up of something. So.
Okay, it feels like lots of stirring this month.
Yeah.
Your arm's going to be tired, you're going to be stirring so much. Then we have Sun conjunct Mercury.
Right, so now we've got that Mercury in retrograde sitting right next to the Sun, the ego right next to the planet of communication. So it's being in alignment with who you are and what you're thinking.
Okay.
And it's, you know, you have the Sun and Mercury, where Mercury was in front of the Sun and the Sun was following it, where now Mercury's retrograding, so the Sun will pass it and the Sun will be in the beginning. So now is the time, you know, when that happens, it's the time to open yourself up to allowing this new you to take over, and kind of step back in your mind and just kind of observe and be within yourself and see where this new you takes you, and not try to be so controlling over this new situation like you were in the past, and just trying to, put everything in order. Just step back, let it be, feel it, and see it. Let it, that's going in the Cancer. It's that internal we were talking about before. And then the sun's moving forward in the Leo. So our ego is expanding and growing while our mind is kind of stepping back. So now's a good time, or when that happens, will be a good time to, just kind of let go of the steering wheel, kind of let life kind of lead you in the
surrender.
Exactly.
Surrender. Okay.
Surrender to yourself.
Okay.
And allow your ego to take over, because if you've done everything right to this point, your ego should be in balance and should be able to take over.
Okay.
But also an active time too. So your mind will be busy and on the ball and thinking, so you'll have that power to get things done, email sent, get all your Mercury type activities filed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't get in your own way.
Right.
That's
It's always good advice.
Yeah.
July 22nd, Sun enters Leo.
So it's their birthday month starting July 22nd. So
Happy birthday, Leo.
So happy birthday, Leo. Yep. That's true. And that gives a fiery, because Leo is a fire sign, and it's much more of a extroverted, happy-go-lucky, abundant sign. So that will be a good shift.
Okay. We love good shifts.
We like good shifts, yeah.
Okay, July 25th, Mars trine Jupiter.
Okay. Mars trying to, okay, so this transit increases your desire or competitiveness to win. So you're going to really want to go after your goals. You're going to get out of the gate running. That's what that really means. It's go after what you want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's we go through the whole month kind of coming out of our shell and becoming this new us. And here we are at the end of the month, July 25th, and it's just like, here's this fire. Let me give you all this energy to become this new you and do you, and to have Mars and Jupiter right there at your back trining, saying we got this, and then they're both in fire signs, so it's just man.
So if you play sports, that's a great time. It's a good time to be active, to do anything of that nature.
Yeah, family
keep yourself
vacation, something like that.
Keeping yourself active.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
We're almost to the end of the month.
Yeah.
July 28th, Venus enters Leo. That just sounds like a good time. I haven't read this.
Well,
so,
okay.
No, not so much.
It's the best time.
That's why I don't do charts.
And something's always going on, right? We never even know. But so now you've got the Sun in Leo and Venus in Leo. So Venus is the planet of love. It's how you see love. So it's just a time to be very, very creative in love.
That's good then.
Express yourself. Let your light shine. Just exude love. It's a very loving feeling.
And hopeful.
And hopeful,
like
yes.
hope energy. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and let yourself have the new things that you want. Don't try to suppress it and be like, I didn't, this isn't me, no, be the new you. Allow yourself to want this new stuff and obtain what it is that you want to obtain, whether it be a new career, whether it be a new car, a new house, whatever it is. Just allow yourself to have these things, and they will come to you, rather than trying to put that wall up. And that Leo energy is going to allow you to create it by allowing yourself to have it with that Venus energy.
And it's the light at the end of the tunnel for this month, because we have those oppositions. There's some heavier energies, but this aspect actually brings that light to some of those other aspects.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And then July 29th, Sun square Uranus.
Yeah,
that
here we
doesn't
go.
sound like fun.
No, it is. It's totally fine. But how about you open your mind and you expand? It's requiring you or forcing you to open your mind and not allowing you. It will not allow you to stay in the thoughts that are holding you back. This is going to give you a push to kind of open your mind and expand to other ways of getting things done.
Okay.
Wherever there is Uranus, though, there could be a nervous energy or a tension buildup, so make sure that you're using it, because anything unused will then can translate to anxiety or like restlessness. Sorry.
No, that's all right. So it feels like if you've been blocking looking at things,
Correct.
then this July 29th square
Yes.
could force you to look at things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it can be an uncertain time as well.
Okay.
But in uncertainty can be excitement. So instead of looking at it as a negative, let's just look at it as, oh my God, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with this, it's kind of this new you has kind of come out of its shell, and you're exploring around the world. Well, now the world's going to test you, It's going to come in, and outside things are going to happen to you, and it's going to see, are you really this new person, or are you going to fall in the old habits?
Okay.
And then once you fall in those old habits, then you have to go through those karmic lessons again, where it's stay above it, stay at your higher new self, and just flow with these new tests. They're not meant to be hard. They're not meant for you to fail. They're meant for you to pass and evolve. And that's what this opposition is the world testing you. Or sorry, not opposition, square, is the world testing you with this new idea of who you are.
And the universe is not trying to trick you.
No.
But the planets are giving you an opportunity to look at things so that you can clear yourself, be more joyful, be happier, manifest with ease.
Yep.
So they're trying to get you to look at all this stuff so you can clear it, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Are there any last thoughts you want to add to July?
Well, with that being said, also, it's not always about us. Maybe we're not the one that has the unexpected thing. It's someone else that behaves that way. And it's you being able to shift yourself in order to not be affected by what the other person did.
Yeah.
So it's not always about us. This could be something that happens outside of you that does cause a change. So just, take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think July is, the month for finding the new you, but adapting to the world around
Absolutely.
you.
Okay.
Being able to stay within yourself, but flow around things and not be stuck in your ways. And I think that's what June had to teach us, was we have to get out of this stuck rut. We're stuck here, and we don't want to be here anymore. So like you said before, we need to get rid of some old baggage. We need to plan the trip and move forward.
Yeah, and the universe is conspiring for you, not against you. It's your own perceptions, your own beliefs that are actually causing you to get stuck, which then forces planets like Uranus to come along and go, no, your soul has an intention. We want you to accomplish it. And if you're not going to play nicely, then we're going to move you along. So, life either happens to you or you create your own life. So, ask yourself that question.
That's
You
beautiful.
use the Leo energy
That's right.
this
Use that
month
Leo energy to
create
create what you want.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
beautiful, beautiful. So as a reminder, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. We love hearing from you. We love bringing you these astrology videos. And as a reminder, the first 10 people that do book that natal chart reading with Virginia, you're going to get that
Come and see me.
Chiron return report about the wounded healer, which is going to be great, especially for this energy for July. We'll keep you posted on when Joseph is ready to take clients.
Right.
We do them in person at Spirit and Spark, but we also do them over video or phone,
FaceTime.
so whatever you're comfortable with. But thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Virginia.
Thanks for having us.
And good luck in July. Let us know what you need our help with. We're here to help you. So spiritandspark.com. We'll see you soon.
Have a great
All right.
weekend.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And bye, Facebook. Thanks so much. See you later.